Peace and blessings, everyone. It's me, it's the coach, Coach Ed Gladney here with the first episode of the Smash Mouth Trash Talk. This is where you can join me, come in, rep your team. Doesn't matter if it's in the NFL, doesn't matter if it's college, doesn't matter if it's high school, youth football, wherever, anywhere in the world that they play American full contact football. This is where you can come in, rep your team and talk smack against the opposing teams, whoever it is. So I thank everyone who's here, tuned in, and getting ready to rock and roll, waiting for others to step up. But until that time comes, here's my little layout. I wanted to start out with the NFL talk. Of course, everyone will talk about their favorite team, get into your team's, projections, who you think is your best player, eventually will be your MVP, the team that you hate the most. Why? Is there a fan base that you hate the most? With the NFL, possible projections. Who do you think is going to be the elite? Who do you think is going to be battling for that number one pick in the NFL draft? Because, they're basically in the trash. So that's what I'm looking for in terms of the NFL. In terms of college football, a little bit of the same thing. Favorite team. Who do you think is the best conference? Who will win it all? If you're a fan of, what's going on with the college football landscape and college football as a whole, the projections. What college teams do you hate the most? Who do you wish was kicked out or were downgraded from FBS to the uh, FCS to Division Two, whatever the case may be. Then we'll go into a little miscellaneous. That's where the high school youth football will come into the talk. Get into a trash talk segment a little bit more. If you have one fan base against the other, and then I have a special closing. But I'm going to start it out being that me. I'm going to start with the NFL, and of course, I am a New York Football Giants fan. I always will feel that the New York Football Giants are, and I understand there's going to be debates with the Packers and the Chicago Bears, but the Giants are the best. Hate me all you want, call me a homer all you want. I am. I'm proud of it, but I stand by my squad. I stand by my team because I rep my team. So that's pretty much who I rep in terms of the NFL. So the team that I hate the most, those who know me know, and those of you who don't, it is the Dallas Cowboys. Can't stand that team, especially a lot of their fan base. I've been dealing with this for years in terms of the fan base with the Dallas Cowboys. Those who know me know I have a saying when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. I wish they would blow them up and then kick them out of the league. That's how much I detest the Dallas Cowboys. That fan base for decades, and I mean going back some 30 plus years, have been always felt that they were the best. They were the ones that were the elite, that there was no other league, I'm sorry, no other team that's better than them, that they're America's team. So that's why I hate them. What's up, Mac? Another great Giants fan, a great content creator. Those of you who don't know, definitely go subscribe to Mac, the Giants fan. You'll definitely enjoy what he brings out there. So, Mac, the link is there if you want to join in the chat. And NYG, my brother, we have a great show, Heart of the City, where we touch all the sports in New York City. So another great New York Giants fan and content creator. So definitely subscribe to my brother too. So, but getting back to what I was saying about them boys. They ain't them boys. Or no, they're them boys trying to play with grown ass men. Can't stand them Cowboys, especially the fan base. How are they America's team? Somebody please explain that to me. Because they were on TV all the time and because people wanted to see them. Some people wanted, I wanted to see them because I wanted to see them lose. America's team. They're not America's team. They haven't even been around long enough. If you said Green Bay, I'd hate it, but I could understand the argument. Even Chicago, the Giants have been around longer than them. Washington has been around longer than them. Philly has been around longer than them, but they are America's team. No, not for me. Sorry, can't stand it. Like I said, I wish they would just blow them up and then kick them out of the league. That's how much I detest them boys, the Dallas franchise. So, in terms of the league projections, it's going to be interesting. So, um, if I break it down and I'll start in the AFC, I'll even start out west where the champions are, the Kansas City Chiefs. Have to put some respect on what they've earned. So, you know, um, they've earned it. They've worked hard, and they're going to be number one in their division. Right now, I'm leaning towards the Chargers. Denver has to show me something, being that you have a new head coach, and I'll talk about that in a minute, as well as um, Russell Wilson, trying to get him back on top. And of course, the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll see about them. There's so much questions about them. Lost their quarterback, their leader from last year. Jimmy G is coming in. We don't know what we're going to have with them. So they're definitely going to be, for me, one of the worst teams in the league this coming year. So then if we go to the AFC South, it's pretty much be almost the same as last year. I think Jacksonville will be on top. Right now, I'm debating between Charlotte and Houston. Both have rookie quarterbacks, new coaches, so it's kind of hard. But I'm going to lean towards Charlotte because of some of the acquisitions. They're still not going to be a good team. I mean, I'm sorry, I said Charlotte. I'm thinking about the NFC. In the AFC South, I'm sorry, it's Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Houston, and I'm forgetting one other team. I know I'm forgetting one other team in the South. Indianapolis, Houston. Oh, Tennessee. Sorry about that. So, Jacksonville, I think, will be there. Tennessee will more than likely be second. Houston will be third. Yeah, I got it, Mac. Thank you. And then I do think Indianapolis, it's a give or take with them. So, um, and I know some will say Houston will probably be at the bottom, and I kind of get it, especially with trading next year's draft pick for this year. But that's kind of why I'm kind of hedging my bet because they have some good talent, especially on the defensive side. I think their defense is going to play a lot better than most are thinking, and it's going to put them in good positions. So, um, let's see what's going on here. NYG said Chiefs fans show us Giants fan mad love when we're in KC. Plus, they kept the Eagles from winning. Yes, there you go. And I know a lot of Giants fans, they can't stand the Eagles as much as I detest the Dallas Cowboys. What's up, Raph? Salute to you. Prayers to you and your family with everything that's going on. Um, Always thinking about you, brother. Also, everyone, don't forget, I have the link in the chat. So come on in, man. Let's talk. Let's put some hate out there on the teams that you want to talk trash about. So, but getting back to the AFC South, yeah, I think it's going to be Jacksonville, Tennessee. Um, I can debate Indianapolis and Houston, but I just think something's about Houston's defense, and that's where you kind of touch my heart sometimes. And then as far as the quarterback, I think Stroud is a little bit more primed to produce right now over C.J. Richardson. So I think that's the issue. with them. Now, yes, they're going to be bringing back Jonathan Taylor, but he's also coming off an injury. So, I think it might take some time. So, but those two will definitely be at the bottom end of the spectrum when it comes draft time at the end of the season. So, who will be there right with the Raiders? I think they'll both be there. So, if we go to the AFC North, that's going to be a little tougher. And it wouldn't surprise me if, for argument's sake, you saw four teams come out of that division. I'm not saying they will, but it wouldn't surprise me. Of course, you have Cincinnati. I mean, yes, there's the scare right now with Joe Burrow and his calf right now. But you know what? I think they're doing the right thing. Let him sit for the rest of the preseason, get him rehabbed, and he'll be fine. Then you have Baltimore. Baltimore with their new pieces. I think that they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. Then you have Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Pittsburgh will be right there. Cleveland will be fighting. Deshaun Watson, can he bring back that magic? If he brings back that magic, hey, they might be fighting for the division overall. But, and that's a division that, in terms of trash talking, that's a division that I love, man. I can tell you from experience, my dad, the way he talks about some those teams out there, especially Baltimore. He cannot stand Baltimore. He says they have good talent, but he can't stand Baltimore. So, and I understand why. Oh, they're the old Cleveland Browns, so that'll be I'm sorry. Let me see what NYG said. He thinks the Titans take that division. I don't quite trust Goldilocks in Jacksonville. Oh, Goldilocks. Hey, man, he's not Goldilocks. He's Sunshine. Sunshine. So, but hey, I get you. You don't trust them. So, hey, that's fair. That's fair. I get you. So, but getting back to the AFC North, that's the layout there that I see there. Now, if I go into the AFC East. Whoo, ho Nelly. So much going on. That's another division that, for argument's sake, could you see four teams making the playoffs? Of course. But a lot's going on over there. I've debated between, of course, the Jets with Rodgers and Buffalo, but you know what? Buffalo has been winning it the past few years, so I'm going to stick with Buffalo. The Jets, I think, will come in at number two. Miami will be three, but I'm going to talk about them in a second. And then the Patriots coming in four. The real issue with the Patriots is going to be their offense. I think their defense will be fine. But if Bill O'Brien can get that offense going, don't be surprised, man, that they end up even being as high as number two. NYG says, I'll get in a few once I get home and settle in. If you, hey, no problem. I'm here, bro. I'm definitely here. So, um, now, in terms of Miami, I wanted to talk about that because of the Jalen Ramsey, and the reports are that he may not be back until November. So, I mean, I've gotten conflicting reports. Hey, he might be back in a few weeks. He might not be back until November because of that surgery. So, how does that impact that defense? Is it going to be that? Is his loss going to be that big of a deal? We don't know. So, as a Giants fan, you know what? Personally speaking, I want him there because I don't want any excuses when the Giants play them, and we can come out on top. But that's to be seen. But overall, that division is going to be a tough one. And again, like I said earlier, I could see all four. And even if a team doesn't make it, they're not going to be in the bottom spectrum of the league, pushing for the top level in the draft. So, but as a Giants fan, little brother, pat him on the head, the little brother, the Jets, Jets. I do respect them. They have a quarterback. They have a good defense. I have to respect that. And there's a couple of things I want to get into with them in a minute. So it's going to be interesting. You know what? I'm going to hit it now. So we know that the Jets just yesterday did a rework or whatever. Aaron Rodgers gave back 35 million of his contract, but he's guaranteed 75 mil over 2 years. So that's pretty much saying he's going to be there, for 2 years minimum. So, and he said, it's not a one time thing. The Jets gave up a lot for him, so he's trying to help them out. So the projections are, Dalvin Cook went down there today for a visit, and he's supposed to be there for the whole weekend. Do you think that he signs with that team? Now, if he does, would you consider them a super team? So you know how they have that in basketball? Would you consider them a super team? And would they be easy to hate? I mean, they're all over the place right now. Everyone seems to be talking about them. What is your thoughts? What is your perspective? Mac the Giant says, I got to wait and see with the Jets. No one wins anything on paper. Got to get it done on the field. That's true. That's true. The one thing I will say, because of last year, they didn't make the playoffs because of quarterback play. So that's kind of why I'm hedging and saying that they probably could be the number two team. So, but with everything, them being on HBO or at Hard Knocks, Aaron Rodgers, him giving up the money, them signing Dalvin Cook, would you consider them a super team? Personally, no. I mean, they still need an offensive line help, but you know, signing all these players, it does make it easier for me to hate them. I'm not going to lie to you. You're doing all this and you're still the Jets. You're the bungling Jets. How many years have we in New York City? It's always, you think the Jets are making that move, and the next thing you know, crash, burn. They'll always be the little brother to the New York Giants. If you're running, how Big Brother's always running out, and you got little brother tagging on your pants legs, and you get tired of them. That's who I think the Jets are. So, but again, that's how I feel about the Jets. What are your thoughts about that? So, the other thing I wanted to talk about is Mr. Sean Payton, for everything that he said yesterday about the Jets. Now you want to backtrack? You want to say it was a mistake? Come on, man. You meant it. Oh, you didn't have your coaching hat on. So then you were still speaking the truth. Is that what you're saying? You were just saying you wanted to put on your coaching hat because you didn't want that to get out and you didn't want to put out some message board material? Hey, man, stand by what you said. You said what you said. Well, here's the new comment. He said, I had one of my moments where I had my Fox hat on and not my coaching hat. Your Fox hat? So, in other words, because you were on Fox, you wanted to talk trash, but then because you get on the sidelines, you don't. Now, come on, man. Where your balls at? Where your balls at, bro? Talk that trash. I love it when you talk that trash. So, NYG, yeah, I agree, Mac. The Jets gonna be the Gid D Jets when it's all said and done. I do think they make the playoffs, but I got Buffalo winning that division. So yeah, we're kind of alike there. So, but um, do you guys consider them a super team? And do you feel that they would be easy to hate if they are a super team? Especially um, if they sign Dalvin Cook. Yeah, exactly. Damn Jets. So, but again, what's not pushing them over the top for me is their offensive line. I mean, we'll see what happens, in reference to that in the long run. So, but that's what I have for the AFC. Now, going over to the NFC, we'll start out same way. NFC West. Frisco is going to be number one out there, followed by Seattle. The Rams and the Cardinals are bringing up the rear, but how bad are they going to be? That's the question. The Cardinals, I think they're going to be one of the top three teams, worst top three teams in the league, personally. It's too much going on over there. Plus, you have a new coach, a new head coach. You have a quarterback who a lot of people in the league, question. They've even questioned, his work ethic. There's thought about his heart. Because remember last year they were talking about they put into his contract that he had to watch film. What quarterback, especially an NFL quarterback, doesn't watch film? So, for me, if I'm a coach, that says a lot, man. That's a quarterback that I don't want on my team. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want him on my team. So, but that's how it is. And then Los Angeles, if you're getting Stafford back, you have Aaron Donald, but what other pieces do you have over there? Where does it go from them? You have a good head coach, but is he going to want to stick around beyond this year? Because they're really not going to be that good this year. You know, other than Aaron Donald, who concerns you over there? As a fan, some fans are going to say I'm afraid, but I'm not afraid of any player, but he concerns me. So hell no, they ain't no super team. More like a stupid. There you go. There's that trash talk that I'm talking about. Exactly. More like a stupid team. So that's them Jets. So, but getting back to the Rams, um, I don't know. I do think that they're going to be in a rebuild mode, but how far down are they going to be? Are they going to be, say, 10? Hmm. Are they going to be worse than that? I don't know. I have debates about the Rams. I mean, I really don't know where they're going to be, but I don't think they're going to be that great of a team. So they're going to be, probably in the 5 to 10 range. I think, somewhere in that range. So now, if I go to the NFC South, I'll do the South. The NFC South, that'll be Charlotte, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans. New Orleans is probably going to be the number one team by default because they will have the best quarterback. But overall, I'll be honest with you. If they won that division with 7 or 8 wins, it wouldn't surprise me. I'll be honest with you. I may be being hard on them, but it wouldn't surprise me. Um, After that, probably would come Charlotte. Charlotte and Atlanta are going to be right there, but I'll give it to Charlotte because I think they brought on some more pieces that can help them. Atlanta, I want to see their defense, what their defense is going to be like. And then, of course, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, I think, is going to be battling the Cardinals for the number one overall seed. That's why, I have the Cardinals 1 to 3, somewhere in that range. Tampa Bay is going to be pretty much in the same area. So, um, NYG says it's the 49ers division to lose. You can make an argument for the Seahawks, but I still think 49ers win it. Yeah, but the Seahawks, I still question their defense. I mean, they put some pieces over there. It has to develop and gel. So, but yeah, and I'm hating on the Seahawks because they always seem to beat my damn Giants, or it seems like it. So, to me, it just seems like it. Or we're always playing them, and it's always a battle with them, and I'm tired of that damn team. So, but in the NFC South, yeah, I think it's going to be the Saints, Charlotte, Atlanta, and Tampa Bay bringing it up. Tampa Bay is, now that Tom Brady is gone, they're a trash can, man. And I feel for Todd Bowles, Jersey guy from Elizabeth, but hey, you signed up for it, so that's your problem. Where you have it right now. So then if we go to the NFC North, this I'm going to start at the bottom. Is it Chicago? Is it Green Bay? I think Chicago's going to end up coming in last place in that division. Go ahead and kill me. I know they brought in a lot of talent. You know, um, I know they did. I get it. I get it. Yeah, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. Yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons why they're in the trash can. So, but Chicago, I think, is going to be bringing up the rear. Um, Green Bay, I still have to respect their defense, what they have over there. They can get at it defensively. Now, yes, you have a new starting quarterback, especially after Aaron Rodgers has moved on. But there are some pieces over there offensively. Excuse me. There are some pieces over there offensively. So I'm not saying either one of those teams are making the playoffs. No, I'm not saying that. They're not in that position as of yet. So coming in at number two, it's Minnesota. What? Minnesota coach? Are you sure? Yeah. I mean, you let an elite running back go, who's going to be a key factor to you. He could have been a key factor to your offense. Teams are going to now even more so. Yes, you have Hawkinson at tight end, but you have Jefferson at wide receiver, so it's going to make it easier. You don't have that elite back in the backfield, and you have Kirk Cousins like that. Kirk Cousins. That says it all right there. So I'm sorry. He threw for whatever many yards last year, but he has the talent. He had the talent around him. But when you take a key piece away, it puts more pressure on him, and I don't trust him. I don't. Sorry, I really don't. So I'm going to say this, and it's going to be an unpopular opinion. If it wasn't for the talent, the same way we're talking about Baker Mayfield, I think they're both on the same level in terms of playing, in terms of talent. So, and go ahead and kill me if you want, but that's how I feel about Kirk Cousins. He has never impressed me. He's been lucky from the time he was at Washington, and Robert Griffin Jr. got hurt, and he took the mantle at that point in time. Because if Griffin didn't get hurt, we were not talking about Baker Mayfield like this. I mean, not Baker Mayfield. We're not talking about Kirk Cousins like this. We're not. So he's not that type of quarterback. It's because of the talent that's around him that they elevate his play. He doesn't elevate their play. So and coming in at number one is Detroit. Detroit, I just think they have a good team. They're doing exactly what they need to do. Offensively, we all know what they, as Giants fans, we know what they do is offensively, what they can do. They're adding some pieces defensively. And I think the biggest thing with the Lions is they're taking on the persona of their coach. That's the greatest thing that you can do when you're a football team. That's what you want as a coach. You want your team to take on your persona and go out there and play to your mentality. Minnesota is going to realize the value of Dalvin Cook now that he's gone. Exactly, exactly. You're going to see that. You know how important it is. Yeah, I know running backs don't matter, but um, we know they do, but yeah, the league seems to think, or certain people within the league seem to think that running backs are a pop and play in a sense. So, but that's how I have it: Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay, and Chicago bringing up the rear. Now to the NFC East. This is another division where, if things played right, could I see all four making the playoffs? Yes. Do I think they are? No. No, I don't. Okay, so here's how it plays out. Washington, whatever their soon to be new name is going to be, they're going to bring up the rear. So, Scooby, my brother, I love you, my man, but your squad is coming in the rear. So, um, coming in at number three, them boys, the Dallas Cowboys. They're not going to be. I know that they talk about their defense, and they have certain offensive talent, but they have Dak Prescott. That's all I can say. I mean, Dak Prescott last year showed me who he is really, and that's also because he doesn't have a plethora of elite receivers. You also lost your tight end. I mean, you could sit here and say you brought in Cooks and yeah, okay, he's going to help, and you have Pollard back there. I get it. I'm gonna say it again. Losing Ezekiel Elliott is going to hurt more than most people realize. His talent may have diminished, but he's that in between the tackle, grinded, physical type of back. Now Pollard can do it. I've seen some film that shows he can do it. But what's up, Pat? Thanks for tapping in, man. I appreciate you. But Pollard is not a bell cow. Number one. So, and you're going to try and run the program with those running backs. And Mike McCarthy has said that he wants to run the football. Okay, you need somebody who can really be physical up inside, in between the tackles. Sorry, that's Zeke may have only gotten you 2 or 3 yards whenever he ran, but that's what you need sometimes. And Pollard doesn't do that. And then what's going to happen if he gets injured? Again, you're going to fall back on Dak. Now you say you want to run the ball, so that plays into if you have an elite defense. But if you can't run the ball, your defense is going to be out there and they're going to get tired and they're going to get gas. So, what did Pat say? Sorry, hold on a minute. Sorry. I agree about Zeke. He's not what he used to be, but he can be effective in the red zone exactly. And NYG, Giants, Shegos, Cow Turds, Whack team from Washington. That's how I see it. Let's go. Exactly. So I do have the Eagles and the Giants battling it out for the division. And to be honest with you, I actually have both teams going 13-4. So and yeah, I don't like the Sheagles. I call them the Beagles. I've always called them the Beagles. So, but yeah, I think both of us are going to definitely be over Dallas. I definitely have to give the Philly a little bit of respect for what they did last year. They did lose some pieces, especially defensively. You lost both your coordinators, and I've heard that, oh, well, we have the talent. It's going to make up for it. No, as the Giants proved last year, coaching matters. Coaching matters, ladies and gentlemen. It really does. And everyone thinks that, oh, well, it's the players that go out on the field. Yes, they do. But who do you think puts the game plan in their head? It's the coaches. Who's helping them see the field when they come off of the field? It's the coaches. Because the players are playing, they also get tired, they get emotional, they get caught up in the game. Coaching matters. And with the Eagles, I have my concerns about that. You lost your right guard who was, playing at a Pro Bowl level. Now you're going to fill him in. You can say that, Carter and, Davis from last year can fill in, but you lost your linebackers. Um, what's good after the huddle? I'll go back over that in a second then for everyone, for you guys that are coming in late. But all of that matters. And then, your linebacker, you have a new linebacker coming in. And last year, he really didn't get as much play. So um, that all of that matters. Yep. We have the best coach in the division by far. Yeah, I agree with you. Exactly, Coach. Dable took over basically the same team as Judge had, and look at the difference. Exactly, coaching matters. And yes, I'm biased. I'm a coach. Been coaching for 40 years, or been involved in the game that long. So, and I see what it is now. After Huddle asked me the topics, starting out at NFL talk. Your favorite team projection. I didn't get into who's your team MVP with my Giants, but I'll get into that a little bit. I talked about the team you hate the most and why. Me, it's the Dallas Cowboys fan base you despise. Dallas fan base. League projections is where I'm at right now. And team many you think will do well but won't, and why, which is where I was getting ready to go into now. And what I mean by that is, who's the team that everyone thinks is going to do well but won't? Um, in the NFC, Dallas. Maybe I'm because I just detest them that much, but I don't think Dallas is going to be as good as everyone is making. They'll make the playoffs, yes, but they're not going to be as good. They'll get in and probably bounce out in the first round. They may even come in at that seven, six or seven spot in the playoffs, but they're not going to be as good as everyone thinks they are, in my opinion. And it's all going to fall back onto Mike McCarthy first and foremost, who I don't think has it as a coach, and he's going to be the play caller, and Ezekiel Elliott. So I want to touch on this player coach thing. It's just like saying BB isn't the GOAT when he had Brady, but people forget. Oh, yeah, Brady won 6 bowls with us, past fans, but Belichick makes the game plan. Yeah, Dak is the new age Romo. Yes. Um, Again, I'll put the link in the chat too, in case anyone wants to jump on. Hold on a second. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, exactly. You made a great point that Brady was a key component to, Belichick, but Belichick also was a key component too. You can't just sleep on it. So, what's up, JJ? I appreciate you tapping in. There's the link, guys, for anybody who wants to tap in. So, Dallas for me is the one that I am is the one that I'm concerned with out in the AFC. Actually, it's the Chargers, especially now that you paid Herbert all that money. So the expectation and the pressure is going to be even more on him. But um, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to be kind of like Dallas to me. They're going to be a 6, 7 seed going in, and they're going to flame out like they did last year. So that's who I think, as far as who most people will think do well, but they won't. That's who. I mean, and both teams, it's going to be the players. So I'm the quarterback. So I don't know what happened. Okay, popped out. Thanks so for trying to jump in, but it's going to be the quarterback play. So that teams that I think that will do well, but they won't, and why. So, what do you guys think? Let me know. Do you guys agree with that? Who are teams that you guys think that people will think will do well, but they really won't? So NYG says, I'll give you several. Dallas, of course, Philly is another, and the Chargers. Also, don't think the Jets will live up to the hype. Okay, there you go. He says, those are four. So I can definitely understand that where you're coming from. The Jets. We were talking about a little bit earlier. They're the Giants' little brothers. Yes, you have the quarterback play, but what about the offensive line? So I get it. The Chargers are just in Dallas. I just talked to you about. Philly. Okay. Um, why do you say Philly, NYG? Let me know. So, that's an interesting one because I do think they're going to be a lot better. I was just testing it. Never tried StreamYard. My bad. Okay, no problem. But you're still open to jump in and talk, man. Come in and talk your trash, man, for whatever team you want. And it's here. So, but again, NYG, you said Philly. I'm just going to give it a little bit before I move on to this college thing because I do want to get into college. So, you know, those who know me know I love my college football. So, but anybody else? Anyone have any other teams you want to trash, or who you think everyone thinks they will do well, but they won't? I'd love to hear what your perspective is, what your thoughts are. So, well, while I'm waiting on that, I am going to jump into the college talk. So, College football, where I'm going to lay it out is favorite team. What my team project, your team projections are. The best FBS conference and who will win each conference. Um, are you a fan of the college alignment? Why or why not? Projected FBS champion. And as far as in terms of what's the fan base or a team that you don't like or the fan base that you don't like in college? He says for the Jets coaching, they lost both their coordinators, and I don't think their head coach is any good. Okay, that's fair. Uh, I got a top five trivia college quarterback for you if you want to take a guess. All right. Um, Go ahead and put it in. Let's see what you have to offer. I'm going to start my college football. And of course, if you guys have anything else that you want to add in the NFL, please go ahead, pop it in here. We'll talk about it. So, Matt says, I could see Seattle taking a step back because Geno could go back to being the old Geno. You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, if he does, you could definitely see him going back. Hey, El Capitan.
Oh, hey, coach. Hey,
Hey, thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. So, but yeah,
yes,
Matt, go
yeah,
ahead. I'm sorry. What were you
congratulations
saying?
on the first show. Congratulations, and I was
Hey.
so yeah, because I know that as a matter of fact, because when it comes to football season, of course, with the training camp, I just wanted to tell you that there are some things that are really interesting, and what I was saying about for the Giants, I mean, things are really involved about the defense, the offense. I mean, they got a Saquon Barkley as a running back, but I'll tell you for the market of the running back that's been crushing all the system for all many years, but right now that's getting changed. So right now Saquon Barkley is still the running back, but right now they're getting focused about the defense. I mean, the last season for the Giants, there could be like an improvement, and I think this
Mm-hmm.
opportunity this season is gonna be like really really different because right now they have so many talents, so many talents that are the pro it, and of course they got Darren Waller, which is in a trade for the Raiders and the Giants. I mean, they could use it for a good cause, which is a tight end.
Mm-hmm. Max says, "What's up, El Capitan?"
Hey, Mike. Hello, Mike.
All right. And after the huddle, who are the top five quarterbacks to throw under 4,000 yards but still win the Heisman? Okay, so I probably have to go back to one of them is going to be. I think he played for. Did he play quarterback at Notre Dame? Oh, this was back in the 40s, if I'm not mistaken, or yeah, the 40s. But let me bring it up to date. When the
That was
Heisman,
that was in Notre Dame, just like in the 90-40 or something like that.
yeah, Paul Hornung. That's what I'm thinking about.
Oh,
I'm trying to think Paul Hornung because I think he was a quarterback, even though he played running back in the NFL. I think they had him as a quarterback at Notre Dame when he won um, the Heisman. But again, they didn't throw back then, so you know I don't know if that's a giveaway. But did Cam Newton throw for 4,000 yards? Then what about Robert Griffin Jr.? Oh, you got a list from 2010 to 2013. All right.
oh,
Okay. And
2010 to
Max says
2023.
Charlie Ward could be one. Well, he said 2010, so Charlie Ward was prior to that also, Max. So, but yeah, Charlie Ward I think could be one too. But okay, 2010 so it's a 13-year period. Five quarterbacks who threw for under 4,000 yards. Yeah, Cam got 2,500. A lot of it was also his legs rushing. I wonder about Robert Griffith Jr.
I mean, that was original from Baylor.
Yeah, he was from Baylor.
That was.
You got me on the rest. So RG3, no. Oh, I keep saying Junior. RG3, yes, thank you. So he threw for over 4,000 yards. So that's why I like doing things off the top of my head. Johnny Manziel. Max says Johnny Manziel. Yeah, he said Yeah, Cam through here. I'm sorry. And then RG3 is no. Um, I can't think of anyone else because I can't. I'm not gonna say Young because I think he definitely did for over 4,000 yards. You got me. Cam Newton, Bryce Young. Oh, he did. Lamar,
Oh yeah, he
Johnny
did. I
Manziel, and
mean,
oh, Marcus Mariota. Yeah, you're right about that. Good one. Good one. That's a good trivia. So, okay. So, getting into my college perspective, my favorite team, those knows me, is Rutgers. I'm a Rutgers Scarlet Knight fan. So, hey, kill me. So, it's fine.
who's Rick?
I understand. We're not where we were before Shiano left initially, and before we got into the Big Ten. But hey, we're building. We're doing well right now, and Shiano's getting us back on track. Best FBS conference. As much as I hate saying this,
Mm-hmm.
the SEC. And I'm a Big Ten man. I'm a Big Ten. I love the Big Ten. I love the quality of football there. But I have to be honest, SEC. The Big Ten is not far off. So Um, who will win the Big Ten? It's going to be Michigan. I don't want to say that. I can't stand Michigan. I hate Michigan um, with a passion, especially because of their head coach. I like Rutgers, big McCourty fan, Devin, exactly. Pat's, always grab a lot of Rutgers players because of their relationship with Shiano and Bill Belichick, but I can't stand Michigan. So, but they're going to win this conference. And the SEC. I think it's Georgia, um, but um, Alabama just always seems to be in there. I can't stand Alabama either. Yes, it's the Nick Saban thing. I just, and the arrogance of the SEC. They always just think it's about them. But they play football across the whole country, not just down south. So, but hey, that's who'll win it. Um, but the at best is the SEC. So, eh.
Yep.
I said, are you a fan of college alignment, and why or why not? Okay, right now I'm going to say yes, and here's the reason why. Okay, because the way it's going and the way that you see the landscape of college football, where players are now getting paid and compensated accordingly, rightfully so. Um, I want to see it where all the best teams for the most part are in one conference. I don't watch much NCAA, but has Rutgers ever won a bowl game? Yes, Rutgers has won plenty of bowl games. When Shiano was here the first time, we won 7 bowl games. So now, are they major bowl games? No, but they still won bowl games. So yes, Rutgers has won bowl games. They even won with Kyle Flood when he took over for Shiano that first year in the Big Ten. They won the it was in Detroit too, whatever it was at that point in time. So Rutgers has won bowl games, but just not elite level bowl games. Their first elite level bowl game was 2 years ago when they played in the Gator Bowl when they got in because of Texas A&M backing out because of COVID, and they went in at 5-7. So excuse me, but I am a fan of realignment because I think the SEC and the Big Ten should be getting the vast majority of the top level teams, and then you go from there. Now, I know most people don't want to hear that. There's some who say no, the Big Ten wants to stay at 16, the SEC wants to stay at 16, but the TV money and most fans are going to want to see that. I'll be honest with you. Who wants to see the Pac 10, Pac 12, Pac 8, Pac 9, whatever they're called right now? And when you look at the Big 12, while they're getting teams and I see what they're doing, they just brought in Colorado. Yes, Deion Sanders is going to do wonders there, but they were 1-11 last year. So they don't push the needle right now. So when you look at the scope of the Big 12, they're the ACC, I get it, but the ACC would be totally destroyed right now if it wasn't for their grant of rights, which prohibits teams pretty much from leaving unless they want to pay the ACC whatever money they get when they go to their new conference. So, and then you got to pay $120 million to leave. So no one is going to break that. So that's why the ACC is there. But when your payout, is 35, $36 million. But when you go to the SEC and the Big Ten, you're looking at 75, 80, maybe even close to $90 million per school. So that's why I think, if you have realignment the way I'm thinking, put 24 in one conference, the Big Ten, if they get Oregon and Washington in there, eventually get Notre Dame and maybe a North Carolina and Virginia, the SEC, if they were to get Clemson, Florida State, Miami, think about that. How many of us would really be tuned into those games, because there would be good games pretty much every week. Yes, you'll have your lower level games, Vanderbilt, the Rutgers, I gotta say it, the Indianas, schools like that for the time being. But eventually, if you put all those schools in there, into those two conferences, then it would make it more interesting. Yes, you let the other teams, other conferences have a shot at the playoffs, but for the most part, everyone will want to see those games each and every week. Honestly, I'm more of an ACC guy, but mostly because of basketball. Yeah, I get you. But imagine if you put North Carolina with the Big Ten, with Michigan, with Rutgers. Rutgers has a good basketball program now. Purdue. You look at the Big Ten, they have some good basketball programs. But you put North Carolina, even a Duke or a Virginia in there, that ups the game, in terms of basketball. So, but yeah, that's why I'm a fan of realignment right now. So, you know, anybody else, let me know. And my projected champion is Georgia. They're the champs right now until anyone otherwise, till and anyone beats them. I got to stay with Georgia right now. And they've done it for the past 2 years, man. And they're doing their thing. They're getting the recruits. So and they have good coaching. So now Alabama could be that dark house for me, and then Michigan, if they get it together, okay. But the suspension of Harbaugh is not going to hurt them to start the season, and I hate to say that because Rutgers plays them in week 4, and he won't be there, but he coaches the whole week, so it's not like he's just not going to be there game day. I used to be a fan of the Big East back in the day, of course. Who didn't be? Wasn't a fan? Georgetown, Syracuse, St. John's, Villanova back then. Yeah, I'm with you. So, but as far as I talked about who I hated the most in terms of college football, it's Michigan, and the reason why I can't stand Michigan because John Harbaugh back in the day came to Jersey and said, "Oh well, he owns Jersey," basically, totally disrespecting Rutgers. When he had a camp here, you want to be confident, fine, but you don't own Jersey. You may get the top level talent, but you don't own Jersey. You don't have a lot of Jersey kids flock into to Michigan. Like back in the days. And I used to like Michigan back in the days when they had Butch Walford coming from Rutgers. I'm sorry, from Westfield to go out there. And this was back in the early '80s. But and my dad's a Michigan fan, so I understood, but I just can't stand him. So and that's the reason why I can't stand Michigan, and it's why I even when they play Ohio State, why I root hard for Ohio State against Michigan. So, and early on, I used to be a Notre Dame fan before I transitioned to Rutgers. So, and it was always a battle with Michigan and Notre Dame. So, but that's it in terms of that. Hero after the 2010 Auburn versus 2019 LSU Tigers, who wins? LSU. I just think while Auburn was good, they had some good talent there. I don't take away anything. That LSU team was just it was number one. You're talking about Burrow versus Cam Newton, and Burrow has the passing ability. Now Cam Newton was dynamic as a runner, so but um, it's just they just had so much talent offensively, and they still have good talent defensively. F Harbor, however, Yeah, Newton versus Burrow. Burrow had the damn Avengers. Exactly. So, they had so much talent over there. That team was just it was magical that season. So, um, I just really appreciate it. I just felt that they, have the better team, and I can appreciate, them. And I'm not taking anything away from Auburn. I just won't. I'm not going to do that. So, thank you, NYG. That's right. Hit that like button. I really appreciate it. You guys are helping me each and every time. So even you guys just here on this show, I know it's the first one, and I'm looking to grow it and get better. And if you guys have suggestions, yo, hit me up. Let me know. I just wish we had more people in here talking trash. Now that's what I was looking for. So, what's up, Tudo? Massive salute and respect to Big Boss Coach Ed, Big Boss Mac, NYG. Much love and respect to you, Tudo. You're the man. So I hope you're ready, getting ready for your season, and you're out there crushing it. So now miscellaneous talk. I mean, I was going to do a little high school, but you know what? It's a little bit too early for that right now. Big Boss Pat, he says. Tudo says Big Boss Pat. But there's a couple other things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I know you always do your trash talking, brother. Always. So here's one thing that I wanted to do to generate some trash talk. So, what is your favorite football movie and why? And I know there's going to be different ones which can generate so much talk. Max says sup tudo. So I'm going to say it's hard. It is so hard because I know everyone's going to say remember the Titans. Wait a minute, it's the first time part of the shout out to you. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And good luck to you, bro. Let me know, whatever I can do to help, bro. Remember the Titans hands down. It's not hands down because Max says the program. So let me pay my respects. Sorry, yo. What's good, Mac? Pat Tudo. Now we can sit here and say, remember the tight end, the program. What about the water boy? Any given Sunday? I'll take you even further. All the right moves. This was back in the late 70s, early 80s. Max is NYG 22. And what did you say? The program was good, though. See, the only thing about the program that concerned me, but I understood why when they took out the intro, when they were laying down in the middle of the street with cars coming by. I understand because you didn't want people copying that. So, oh, he said, I'm forgetting Rudy. Yeah, Rudy. So, and it's like, it's a lot of great football movies. And it's like, we could sit here and debate and trash talk and be like, nah, that one didn't have it or in this, but that's why I wanted to bring this to the table because it's like, what are some of the good football movies that we could sit here and debate and someone should say, nah, I don't like it because XYZ or this actor or the writing, whatever, so and it's not always just about the football action, what's going on, out there on the field. The storyline with for Rudy, I mean, that was amazing, man. I mean, because when you think about it, young little guy, no talent, playing defensive end at a major college university, had to walk on, had a coach who really didn't want him out there, and it's just like, but there's a lot of other cats who are like, nah, it just wasn't enough out there, or whatever the case may be. And when you go to the program, it's like, when you think about the program and what's his name when he's shooting up the steroids, and then after the last game sitting on the bench crying, but he has all that pain on his face, and of course, any I mean the remember the Titans, left side, right side, attitude reflects leadership. We can go on and on. I'm your daddy. So it's The reason I loved the program was because it showed a very raw and real side to the competitiveness in college. Yeah, I mean, Matt. Think about not being Matt when he hurt his leg, and he was home, and after giving your all to the university, that stuff is real. That stuff is real. But I also had discussions with somebody, and I had to tell them, that's real. No, it's not. They did that for TV. No, stuff like that happens, which is why going to today, I like kids getting money. Some may not get as much as others, but I like it. But it shows, like Matt said, the competitiveness in football, the realness, the steroids. I mean, I that's how I was first introduced to seeing players shooting steroids in college. And I went to a D3 school, and there was a guy, he was 5'10", 235 pounds, but saw him shooting right in his butt, and I'm like, what the hell is? And one of my teammates, he's shooting steroids. I'm like, isn't that illegal? And it's just a whole different story. But it was the competitiveness, and it was real. But there are people that they don't even like that. They figure it's too TV. So but I love that. I love that. So, um, uh, again, any other pro football movies that you guys are thinking of? If not, I'll bring that back up later on, somewhere down the road. We can get into it a little bit more. The last thing I just want to talk about is I call it why do you love? Why do you love football? Why do you love the NFL? Why do you love college, football? Why do you love your team? I'm going to take it by starting by saying I love college football. I prefer college football over the NFL. And hey, I know a lot of people don't, for whatever reason, and I get it, and I don't begrudge you, but I love college football because the energy, the real, it's while kids are now starting to get paid, they're not getting paid like they do in the NFL, and it's the passion. And if you go to a top level or any college level game, I mean, I can go to a D3 school in my area, and the students alone, it's what's so entertaining. Even some high schools, some good big high schools, you'll see that. But when you go, like if I go to a Rutgers game, the student section is so amped up, and it just adds to the game itself, man. It really does. So um it's a beautiful thing. I really That's why one of the reasons why I love college football. You know, I played at a D3 school. Matt says the movie about Kurt Warner was really good too. I didn't get to see that one, so I guess I have to really check that out. Thanks, Matt. Um, I played at a D3 school, but you know, always the students were there. During pregame, they're talking to you, waving to you, whatever, and then you get into the game. But they're amped up, they're fighting, they're screaming, they're making noise. But then you go to a big school like Rutgers, 50,000 student section. You have 15,000 kids in there, and I mean, think about that: 15,000 kids. You go to a Penn State, 100,000, and you have 25,000 students that are there, rooting and screaming and bringing the energy. I mean, that's what's so beautiful about college football for me. And then I go to high school because it's kind of the same thing, just a little bit more intimate. So and please don't think I don't like the NFL. I do like the NFL. I do. But it's more on a professional level. So it just takes away. It's a little bit different than the college game in itself. So NYG says, for me, it's basketball, no doubt. I like watching AAU. That's where I played, rec league, etc. Exactly. And now in high school they have the 7-on-7 camps. So but you go there and you see that's the thing. When you play for your passion, your emotions, and you're not really playing for to make money per se, that just adds to me. That adds to it for me. I mean, I played minor league semi-pro football, and I played in front of 10, 15 people. Or next week I played in front of 5,000 people. I've gone into serious competitive flag leagues, and I've gone down to Florida And I played in front of 20,000 people in the flag league. But then when you're, in your home area, you just have your girlfriends, your kids, little things, nothing big. So, but everything is still the same, man. You're out there playing passionately, vigorously, vicariously. Hey, that's your Super Bowl. That's your NFL, So that's why I love when it's more amateurish per se, as opposed to the NFL, which is more of a serious professional aspect, because hey, that's guys playing for their livelihoods. Let's be real, that's what it is. So it's a different aspect, but not to take anything away from it. So, you know, and I get down into arena, I do like the arena indoor, it's a little bit more, the indoor is more, it's more kind of like minor league semi-pro where you're just playing for the love of the game. And the other thing is a lot of minor league semi-pro and low-level arenas, guys have to pay to play. Think about that. You're paying to play. Sometimes, and you have to buy your own equipment. You're buying your jerseys. You're paying the team $300-400 to help contribute to running of the organization. But you do that because you love it. So, and I'm telling you right now, it's fun. And the trash talking, mm, it is beautiful out there sometimes. I mean, there's message boards where there's a lot of trash talking, but out there on the field, they get at it, man, just like they would in the NFL. So, but that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to do today for the first one. So I appreciate everyone who tapped in. You guys really helped me out. Raph for tapping in, jumping on here. Mac, NYG. Um, who else? Big Pat for coming in too, though, after the huddle. And again, brother, whatever you need, let me know. Just hit me up. JJ. Um, is that it? That's it. It looks like it's it. Yes, it Tudo. Well, that's pretty much it. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I had a really great time. I'm looking forward, in the future to really amp it up and, really smack mouth and smash mouth and trash talk and take it to another level. So, and if anybody has any suggestions, again, hit me up, put it in the comments, hit me on Twitter. If you got my number, text me, whatever. It doesn't matter. I appreciate all the help. So, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you guys had a great time, and I look forward to bringing you guys more. Thanks, Mac. Really great stuff with too. So, and I'll see you guys later. And as I always say in sports, make sure you turn it on and turn it up. Peace.